So I am live streaming today to YouTube as well as LinkedIn, which is a new one for me. I have no idea how that what happens at that end, so I'll have to go and have a look afterwards. Hopefully, it all works okay. But it's all part of the live challenge that I'm doing, which is to do a live every weekday, Monday to Friday, for a whole year. So that's what this is all about. So I've spent today preparing for a workshop I have next week, and I thought I'd share a little bit about what that's about because I think it's actually quite useful, especially for anyone who's in any kind of leadership role. And the workshop is all based on the work of Liz Wiseman, who has a book called Multipliers, which you may have come across. And it's really incredible stuff, I think. And it's very much about how you as a leader might be doing the things that you did that helps you become a leader, but that those things, once you are a leader, can be not so useful for your team. So these are things that Liz Wiseman calls diminishing traits, accidental diminishing traits, because it's not that you're deliberately trying to make life difficult for your team. So an example of this might be optimism, right? So when you're in a team, being optimistic is fabulous, gets everyone going. Come on, guys, we can do this thing. But then if you become a leader and you're overly optimistic, or if you take it a little bit too far, it can actually be detrimental to your team, because you imagine you have this leader who's just all gung-ho, we can do this kind of thing. And it's possible as a member of that team that you start feeling like, well, it's all very well for her to say that, but we've got these things going on and she doesn't really understand that means we have to work late and all those kind of things. And people might find that they can't tell you that they're actually struggling a little bit with whatever the thing is that you're so optimistic about. So if you are, for example, overly optimistic for the team, then you might just want to do something called signaling the struggle, which is to say, look, I know this is a big ask. I know we might be struggling a bit with this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on how we can make it happen, rather than just going in there saying, come on, you can do it, you can do it. And when I was learning about this, it reminded me of, I don't know if you've seen the fabulous Netflix documentary called The Fire Festival, FYRE, which is all about a group of people who decided to hold a festival on an island, and they sold lots of very expensive tickets by getting all these influencers to advertise it. But actually the logistics of setting things up for this festival were very, very challenging on this island. And they honestly did not do a good job of it. It's definitely worth seeing for yourself. But there's this moment where everything is going terribly wrong. And people keep going to the person who's running this festival and saying, this is no good. Like, we haven't got what we need. It's not going to work. And and he's just like, no, I don't bring me problems, just bring me solutions, all that kind of thing. So definitely doing some diminishing behaviors, because it's, he might have been super optimistic, but it really wasn't helping the situation. And in fact, things go terribly wrong. So it's a great book to read, and it gives you, I think, food for thought, because a lot of the things you think you should be doing as a manager potentially have a diminishing factor to them. And of course, the opposite of that is multiplying behavior, which is what brings the best out in people. And the thing with multiplying behavior is really you're supporting people, but you're not kind of doing things for them. You're not always jumping in and taking responsibility. You're multiplying their ability to do things. And that also can be difficult as a leader, because sometimes you think, well, that's my job to look after all the things and do all the things, where actually your job is to make sure that your team can flourish and your team can grow, and that you can step back actually, and not, A, you're going to burn out if you do everything and take everything on your shoulders, and B, it doesn't help your team if you're doing that, because then how do they grow? So that's what I've been working on today, and I'm very much looking forward to delivering that next week. Um, but yeah, if you're interested in all things leadership, that's a book that I would definitely recommend.